Welcome back, everyone. We are at day 3 of Pyramid Music Meditation Fest. Let's have a huge round of applause. We start our day at 6 a.m. and we end our day at 8:30 p.m. with the energy and the company of masters. So today is a very special day because we get to experience Carnatic music by maestros. So let me introduce our artists. We have Vinay Sharva Garu on vocal, BK Raghu Garu on violin, Anur Vinod Shyam Garu on mridangam, and SN Narayan Murthy Garu on ghatam. Let me share a little bit about our artists. Vinay Sharva Garu has emerged as one of the most prominent vocalists of Carnatic music, known for his sonorous voice and energetic rendition style. His music is traditional and filled with spontaneity, coupled with rhythmic perfection. He has excelled in academics by completing his master's of degree in electronics and working in drone aerospace systems as a senior engineer. He has received multiple awards. Vinod Sharva Garu's musical career has progressed successfully and audiences across the country have been highly appreciative of his music. The list of awards are endless. So for now, we will experience his music because that is what this beauty of PMMA is. Music speaks louder than words. Now, I would like to introduce our violinist of the day. He is BK Raghu Garu. His gurus are Vidushi D. Sushma Rao and Vidushi D. Surya Prabha, Vidwan B.U. Ganesh Prasad Garu, and Neela Ram Gopalji. He started learning at a very tender age and performed across halls across India and abroad. He has about 20 years of experience in the Indian classical Carnatic music field. He's an A-grade artist and he's performed all across India. So let us make sure that we know that we have the best of Carnatic music right here in Pyramid Valley. Now let's know a little bit about Anur Vinod Shyam. He hails from a Annur family of renowned and respected music family of Karnataka. He is the great-grandson of Vidwan Annur Shammanna, a renowned Veena artist, grandson of Gana Kala Bhushana, Vidwan Annur S. Ramakrishna, an esteemed violinist. He is a B-high grade artist of All India Radio and has accompanied many senior performers across India and abroad. And you will also hear him tomorrow in an ensemble because that is how multi-percussionists are. They are present everywhere, can play every instrument and with perfection. So welcome. And now we have Narayan Murthy Garu. He's under the guidance of Srimati Sukanya Ram Gopalji. She's a well-known ghatam artist. Narayan Murthy Garu is a B-high grade artist of All India Radio and Doordarshan. He has trained many students who are now on the performing stage. So, Guru and Laghu. Laghu becomes a Guru. That is what Patriji teaches us from time to time. And let us enjoy and immerse ourselves in this Carnatic music ambience in Pyramid Valley International. So my dear friends, let us assume our positions and clasp our hands, cross our feet and close our eyes and experience the divinity in its very essence. Close your eyes and just be with your natural breath. Let the music sink in.
Pranams to everyone. We will be starting this concert with a compositional form called as Varnam in this raga called Saveri, set to Aditala. Sarasuda
Sari ma pa da da pa ma ri ma ba da sari sa pa ma da pa ni da ni ba da ma
ma ba sa ri ma ba da ni da ni da ba ma ba sa ni da ba ga ri sa ni da ba ma da ba ni da ba da sa ni ga ni ri da ga ni sa ni da da ni da ba ma ga ri ga ni sa ni da ba ma ga ri sa da sa re so da ವೇಳಾದಾನಿ ಪೈನೇನ ರೂನೈ ವೇಳಾದಾನಿ ಪೈನೇನ ರೂನೈ ವೇಳಾದ ಪದ ಮಗರಿ ಮ ಪದ ನೀದ ಪಮದ ನೀ ಪೈನೇನ ರೂನೈ ದಾನಿ ಪದ ಪಮದ ನಿದ ಮಗರಿ ಸದ ಸಾರಿ ಮಬದ ಸರಿ ಮಬ ಮನಿದ ಪಮದಾನಿ ಪೈನೇನ ರೂನೈ ವೇಳಾದ ನಿದ ಮಗರಿ ಸದ ಮಗರಿ ಸಗರಿ ಸನಿ ರೈ ಸನಿ ದ ಪ ಸರಿ ಮಬದ ಸನಿ ರೈ ಸನಿ ದ ವದ ಸನಿ ಗ ಸನಿ ಬದ ಸ ಮಬದ ಗನಿ ಸನಿ ದ ಪಮದ ನೀ ಪೈನೇನ ರೂನೈ ವೇಳಾ ಸಾ sa ri sa ni da ba ma ga ri sa sa ma da sa ri sa ni da ba ma ga ri sa sa ma da sa ri sa ni da ba ma ga ri sa sa ri ma da sa ri sa ni da ba ma ga ri sa sa ri ma da sa ri sa ni da ba ma ga ri sa da ri ma da sa ri sa ni da ba ma ga ri sa da ಮಬದ ಸನಿ ದ ಪಾದ ನಿ ದ ಪ ಮಬದ ಮಗ ನಿ ದ ಪ ಮ ಸನಿ ದ ಪ ನಿ ಸನಿ ದ ಪಾದ ಮಗ ರಿ ಸ ದ ಸರಿ ಮ ಪರಿ ಮಬದ ಪ ಮಬದ ಸ ಮಬದ ಸನಿ ಗ ನಿ ಸನಿ ರಿ ಸ ನಿ ದ ಪ ದ ಪ ಮಗ ರಿ ಮಬದ ಸನಿ ಗ ನಿ ಸನಿ ದ ಪ ಮಗ ರಿ ಸ ರಿ ಮಬದ ನೀ ಪೈನೇನ ರೂನೈ ವೇಳಾದ ನೀ ವೈಲಿನ್ ಶಾರ್ಪ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಬೇಸ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೊಡಿ. ಪಿಕಪ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಿನಿಮಲ್ ಇಡಿ, ಮೈಕ್ ವಾಲ್ಯೂಮೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮಿಡ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ, ಮಿಡ್. ತದರ ನನ್ನ ತದರ ತದರ In this raga, Shuddha Dhanyasi, we will be presenting famous composition of Sri Talapakam Annamacharya, Bhavamulona Bahyamunandunu, set to Aditala. Bhavamulona Bahyamunandunu భావములోన బాహ్యమునందును భావములోన బాహ్యమునందును భావములోన బాహ్యమునందును గోవింద గోవింద అని కొలువవో మనసా భావములోన బాహ్యమునందును గోవింద గోవింద అని కొలువవో మనసా భావములోన బాహ్యమునందును గోవింద గోవింద అని కొలువవో మనసా భావములోన బాహ్యము గోవింద గోవింద అని కొలువవో మనసా భావములోన బాహ్యము నందును హరి అవతారములే అఖిల దేవతలు హరి అవతారములే అఖిల దేవతలు హరిలోనివే బ్రహ్మాండములు హరి అవతారములే అఖిల దేవతలు హరిలోనివే బ్రహ్మాండ
హరినామములే అన్ని మంత్రములు హరినామములే అన్ని మంత్రములు హరినామములే హరినామములే అన్ని మంత్రములు హరి 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 అనవో హరి 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 అనవో మనసాభావములోన బాహ్యమునందును గోవింద గోవింద అని కొలువవో మనసాభావములోన బాహ్యమునందును అచ్యుతుడితడే ఆదియోనంత్యము అచ్యుతుడితడే ఆదియోనంత్యము అచ్యుతుడితడే ఆదియోనంత్యము అచ్యుతుడే అసురాంతకుడు అచ్యుతుడితడే అచ్యుతుడే అసురాంతకుడు అచ్యుతుడు శ్రీ వెంకటాద్రి మీద నీదే అచ్యుతుడు శ్రీ వెంకటాద్రి మీద నీదే అచ్యుతుడు శ్రీ అచ్యుతుడు శ్రీ వెంకటాద్రి మీద నీదే అచ్యుత అచ్యుత శరణనవో అచ్యుత అచ్యుత శరణనవో మనసాభావములోన బాహ్యమునందును గోవింద గోవింద అని కొలువవో మనసాభావములోన బాహ్యమునందును భావములోన బాహ్యమునందును భావములోన బాహ్యమునందును
We will now present the great, highly popular Pancharatna Kriti of Sadguru Tyagaraja in the Raga Shri Endaro Mahanubhavulu Andariki Vandanamulu.
ఎందరో మహానుభావులు ఎందరో మహానుభావులు ఎందరో మహానుభావులు ఎందరో మానసవన చరవర సంచారము నిలిపి మోటి బాగుగ పొడగనే వారెందరో మహానుభావులు పమరి పమరి పాపమరి నీ పని పమ పమరి గరి సని ఎందరో మహానుభావులు సరగుణ పాదములకు స్వాంతమను సరోజమును సమర్పణము సేయువారెందరో సని పరి సని పరి సని పమ పని సరి గరి సరి మ ప సని స ప ప మరి మ పని ప సని ప రి సని ప గరి సని ప మరి గరి సని ఎందరో మహానుభావులు పతిత పావనుడనే పరాతరుని గురించి పరమార్థమగు నిజ మార్గముతో నువాడుచును సల్లాపముతో స్వరలయాది రాగములు తెలియువారెందరో పమమ పరిని గరిని సరి గరిని సని పని సరి రి గగరి సరి మ పని సరి రి మ పని సారి గరిని గరిని సని పప మరి గరి రి సని ఎందరో మహానుభావులు హరిగుణమణిమయ సరములు గణముల శోభిల్లు భక్త కోటులిలలో చెలిమితో కరుణ గల్గి జగమెల్లను సుధా దృష్టి చే బ్రోచువారెందరో పని సపాని మబని రీ మబని పమరి రి గరి సని సని గరి సని పని సరి మరి మప ని మబని సారి గరి సని ప సాని పమరి పమరి గరి సని ఎందరో హోయను మీద నటలు గల్గు సరసుని సదా కనుల జూచును పులక శరీరులై ఆనంద పయోధిని మాగులై ముదంబునను యశము గలవారెందరో రిమపని మబని రే మబని పమరి రే గరి సని పని సా పని సరి రే గరి సరి మపని పని మబరి గరి సరి మప మబ నిపని మాపరి మప ని మబని సరి రే గరి సని ప మపని ని సా రి గని రే గరి సని సని సా సని ప మ పరి మరి ప మని ప సాని ప మరి గరి సాని ఎందరో పరమ భాగవతమో నివర శశి విభాకర సనక సంబంధన శసుర కిం పురుషు కనక కశిపు సుతనార కుంభురు పవన సూను బాలచంద్రధర శుక సరోజ భవ భూసురవరు పరమ పావనులు గనును కదము కమల భవ సుఖము సదానుభవము గలవారెందరో పారి మపరి మరి మప మప రి గరి రి గరి సని పని స పా రి గని స పా పని రి మపని సరి మపని పని సని సా ని సరి రి రి గని రి గని రి గని రి గని సని స సా ని పని సరి గని రి స సాని ని పమరి మపని సాని పా మరి గరి సని సరి సాని ఎందరో నామ వైభవంబుగలు నీ పరాక్రమ ధైర్యముల శాంత మానసమునీవులను వచన సత్యమును రఘువర నీ ఎడస భక్తియుజని చటను దుర్మతములను కల్ల చేసినటి నీ మది నేరింగి సతంబునను గుణ భజనానంద కీర్తనము సేయువారెందరో మహానుభావులు సరి ని సరి గరి రి సా రి పని సరి ని సరి గరి రి సా సని పారి సరి పని పారి సరి గరి సని సరి మ పని ప పమరి పా పమరి ని ప సని పరి సని ప పాప గరి రి గరి రి రి గరి రి గరి రి రి సా సా ప పారి రి గరి సని పని సని సా 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 పాప పారి రి రి గరి సని ఎందరో మహానుభావులు భాగవత రామాయణ గీతాదిశతి శాస్త్ర పురాణపు మర్మముల శివాది షణ్మతముల గూఢములన్ ముప్పది ముక్కోటి సురాంతరంగము భావంబులనెరిగి భావరాగలయాది సౌఖ్యముజే చిరాయోర్గంగి నిరవధి సుఖాతులై త్యాగరాజాతులైన వారెందరో ராமபக்தோடைன தியாகராஜா ஸ்ரீராமபக்தோடைன தியாகராஜரோதுனீத தாசுலைன ஸ்ரீராமபக்தோடைன தியாகராஜரோதுனீத தாசுலைன வாரெந்தரோ ததரனன ததனன ததரரனனா ததரரனோ ரனனனனனா நாரனனா ததரனனனனா ததரனனனனா தனனனனனா தனனம் தனனனம் நனனனன ரன வானனரனன ததனனனன நான வான ததரன ததன ra 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 ra
We'll be presenting the composition of Sadguru Tyagaraja in this raga Pantuvarali, or also known as Kamavardhini, Raghuvara in Aditala. This will also be followed by Taniyavartanam by the percussion duo of Vinod and Narayan Murthy sir.
ரகுவரனன்னு மரவதகுணா ஓ ரகுவரனன்னு மரவதகுணா ஓ ரகுவரனன்னு மரவதகுணா మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నానురా మనసున మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసున మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసున నీకే మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసు మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రా మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రా నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రా మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను మరులు కొన్నాను నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రామన సోనా నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రామన సోన నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రామ మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రామ మనసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రామన సోన నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రామసున నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను మరులు కొన్నాను రామ నీకే మరులు కొనగను గురామ సోన నీకే మరులు కొన్నాను రామ మన సోన నీకే ramana suna gamari mana suna gama paga ma padama gamari mana suna ni Sani re ni sada ni pa dama pa mana suna ni ga mama dada mama dada ni sati ni sada ni mada mana suna Dabadani sani gani magani sani sarini ni sadadani pa dama gama badani gani sani da ri sani da pa ma gamari mana suna ni Sani sa, ri sa ni da ni sa, sa ni da ba da, ni da ba ma ba, pa ma ga ma ri ma na suna ni ke. Pa ma ga ma da ba ma ga ri sa ri ga ma pa, da ba ma ga ma ba da ni, sa ga ni sa sa, pa ni da ba ma pa pa, pa ma ga ma ri ma na suna. Magarisa, daba magarisa, ni daba magarisa, sani daba magarisa, gani sani dari sani daba pa magamari mana suna. Dani sama ba dani sa ga ma ba dani sa ni ga ma ba dani sa ni sa sa sani daba ma pa pa sani daba ni daba ma pa magamari mana suna. Ni మదని గమదని రి గమదని సని సత్తి స కని సని దబ దప సని దబ మగ మగ పమగ మరి మన సోన గారి మగ బామద బని దసాని గని సని సా రి స సని దబ దప దబ మగ మగ గమరి మన సోన దబ మబద ప ప ప ప దబ దబ ప ప దబ మబద ప ప దబ మబద ప ప దబ మబద మ మ మ నీ దబ 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 మబద ప ప దబ మబద ప మ మ బద బ మబద దబ మగ గ మ మద దబ మగ రి సరి గ మబద దబ మబద నీ దబ మదబ మగ మగ దమ ని దస ని ని స ని ద ని స సా ని దబ ద నీ దబ మగ గ మ రి గ మ ప ప ప ప గ మ ప దబ మని దబ మ సని దబ మని దని దబ మ గని సని దబ మ గరి గరి మగ బ మ దబ మ ప గరి మగ బ మ దబ మ ప గరి మగ బ మ దబ మ ప స సని సని ని ని సని సద దద ని ప ప ప ద ప ద మ గ మ ప మ ద గ మ ప మ ప గ మ గ గ మ రి గ రి రి గ సరి గ మ ద ప దని సని దవ మగ మ ప మగ మ ప మగ మ ప పద బ బని దబ మ మ ప మ మ దబ మగ గ మగ ప గ మగ ద గ ప మ ప సని దబ మగ మ ప దని సని సని దని సని దబ ద రి సని దబ మ ప గారి గారి సని దని దని దబ మగ గారి ని ద గారి సని దబ సని దని సని దబ మ బ గ మ బ రి సని దబ మ ప మ గ మ దబ గారి సని ద సని దబ మ బ దబ దబ మ బ దబ మ బ మ బ మ ద మ బ సబ మ ప సబ మ ప దబ మ బ దబ గ గ మ మ ద ద ని 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 ద ని దబ మ బ మదని 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 ద మ బ రి గ మ గ మ ద మదని ద మ బ రి గ మ గ మ ద మదని ద బ నీ ద నీ ద నీ ద స ని దబ మ బ నీ ద నీ ద నీ ద స ని దబ మ బ నీ ద ద నీ ద స ని దబ మ బ దబ మ బ దబ దబ మ బ ని ద స ని దబ స ని మదని మని ద గ మ ద గ ద ప స ప మ బ ద ప రి ప మ బ ద ప గ ప మ బ ద ప ప మ బ ద ప దబ మ బ ద ప దబ మ బ ద ప దబ మ బ ద ప మ బ ద ప మ బ ద దబ మ ద ప మ ద ప మ మ బ ద ప ద ద ద ద ద ని ద ద ని ద దబ మ బ ద ని స ద ని 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 స ని స ని ద మ ద మ ద మ గ ని ని మ మ ని 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 రి ని రి ని ద మ గ మ ద ని రి ని ని రి రి ని ని ద ద మ గ మ ద ని ద మ గ మ ద మ గ రి గ రి మ మ గ రి గ రి ద ద మ మ గ గ మ ని ని ద ద మ రి రి మ ని ని మ ద ద మ ద ని ని రి ద ని స ని స రి ద ని స ని స రి ద ని స ద ని రి 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 స ని స ద రి 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 గ ని ని స ని ద ని రి 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 ద ద ద రి ద ద రి రి గ ని ని స ని sari ga 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 ma ga ni sa ni sari ga ma ga ni sa sa ba ma ga ni sa ni sa ga ni ma ga ba ma ga ni sa ni ni sa da ni ba da ma ba ga ma ri ga ga ma ba ba da da ni ni sa da ni ga ri ri ga ga ma ma da da ni ni sa da ni da ni ri ga ga ma ma ba ba da da ni ni ga ni sa da ni ga ni sa ni da ni sa ni ri da ni sa ni da ba sa ni da sa ni da ba da ga ri sa ni da ri sa ni da ba sa ni da ba da ga ni sa ni da ba sa ni da ba ma ga ma pa da pa da ni ga ma pa da ni ma pa da ni sa pa da ni sa ti ga ma ba da ba ma ba da ni da ba da ni sa ni ga ni sa ga ni sa ni da ni sa ti ri da ni sa ni da ba sa ti da ga ma ba da ni sa ni ga ri sa ni da ri sa ni da ba sa ti da ba da ni sa ni da ba pa ma ga ma ri ma na su na ni
ஆனந்த நடமாடும் நடராஜன் ஆனந்த நடமாடும் நடராஜன் ஆனந்த நடமாடும் நடராஜன் சவேஷன் பொன்னம்பல தரசனை புகழ்ந்து பாடுவோம்.
கரிசனி சார் ததிங்கினதும் தபமகமப தத்திங்கினதும் சார் கரிசனி சார் ததிங்கினதும் தபமகமப தத்திங்கினதும் சார் கரிசனி சார் ததிங்கினதும் தபமகமப தத்திங்கினதும் தகஜம் கரிதா
சகரி பமகரி சனி சார்
ததிங்கினதும்
தபமகரி
ததிங்கினதும் தகஜம் கரிதா
சகரி பமகரி சனி சார் ததிங்கினதும் தபமகரி ததிங்கினதும் ததிரனா தனதிரனதி
தீரனா தில்லான ததிரன தனதிரனதி தீரனா தில்லான ததிரன தனதிரனதி 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 தனதிரனதிரனதி.
మరులు కొన్నానురా మనసున నీ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರನ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರನ ಆಡಿಸಿದಳೆ ಶೋಧ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋಧ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರನ 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 ಮಗನೆಂದು ತಿಳಿಯುತ್ತ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರನ ಮಗನೆಂದು ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರನ ಮಗನೆಂದು ತಿಳಿಯುತ್ತ ಮಗುಗಳ ಮಾಣಿಕ್ಯನ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋಧ ಮಗುಗಳ ಮಾಣಿಕ್ಯನ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋಧ ಮಗುಗಳ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋಧ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರನ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋಧ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರನ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷನ ಪರವಾಸುದೇವನ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷನ ಪರವಾಸುದೇವನ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷನ ಪರವಾಸುದೇವನ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋದ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋದ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋದ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋದ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರನ ಆಡಿಸಿದ ಯಶೋದ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರ ಜಗದೋದ್ಧಾರನ ಆಡಿಸಿದಳೆ ಯಶೋದ 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 ಆಡಿಸಿದೆ ಯಶೋದ 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 ಯಶೋದ
This was Jagadodharana, a composition of Sri Purandar Dasaru. I will now sing a composition of Sri Vyasarayaru, Ranga Bandha Brindavanadalininda. This composition is based or is dedicated to Lord Krishna in Udupi. So there is a reference to the Krishna in Udupi, and this song has been written by Sri Vyasarayaru, dedicated to Udupi Krishna. ರಂಗಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲಿನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ರಂಗಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲಿನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ.
ರಂಗ ಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ರಂಗ ಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ನಂದ ಗೋಪಿಯರ ಕಂದ ಮುಕುಂದ, ನಂದ ಗೋಪಿಯರ ಕಂದ ಮುಕುಂದ, ಸುಂದರಿಯರ ಆನಂದ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ರಂಗ ಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ನಂದ ಗೋಪಿಯರ ಕಂದ ಮುಕುಂದ, ಸುಂದರಿಯರ ಆನಂದ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ರಂಗ ಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ಮಂದಗಮನೇರ ಕೂಡಿ ಸರಸವನಾಡೂತ, ಇಂದಿರೆಯರಸ ನಗುತ ಕೊಳಲನೂದುತ. ಮಂದಗಮನೇರ ಕೂಡಿ ಸರಸವನಾಡೂತ, ಇಂದಿರೆಯರಸ ನಗುತ ಕೊಳಲನೂದುತ. ಎಂದೆಂದಿಗೂ ತನ್ನ ನಂಬಿದ ಭಕ್ತರ ಎಂದೆಂದಿಗೂ ತನ್ನ ನಂಬಿದ ಭಕ್ತರ ಎಂದೆಂದಿಗೂ ತನ್ನ ಎಂದೆಂದಿಗೂ ತನ್ನ ನಂಬಿದ ಭಕ್ತರ ಬಂದು ಪೋರೆವ ಆನಂದ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ರಂಗ ಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ಎಂದೆಂದಿಗೂ ತನ್ನ ನಂಬಿದ ಭಕ್ತರ ಬಂದು ಪೋರೆವ ಆನಂದ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ರಂಗ ಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ಮಥುರೆಯಿಂದಲಿ ಬಂದ ಮಾವನ ಕೊಂದ, ಮಥುರೆಯಿಂದಲಿ ಬಂದ ಮಾವನ ಕೊಂದ, ಮಥುರೆಯಿಂದಲಿ ಬಂದ ಮಥುರೆಯಿಂದಲಿ ಬಂದ ಮಾವನ ಕೊಂದ. ಕಡಗೋಲನೇನ ಕೈಲಿ ಹಿಡಿದ ದ್ವಾರಕವಾಸ, ಕಡಗೋಲನೇನ ಕೈಲಿ ಹಿಡಿದ ದ್ವಾರಕವಾಸ. ಎಂದೆಂದಿಗೂ ಹಡಗಿನಿಂದಲಿ ಬಂದು ಉಡುಪಿಲಿ ನೆಲೆ ನಿಂದು, ಹಡಗಿನಿಂದಲಿ ಬಂದು ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಹಡಗಿನಿಂದಲಿ ಬಂದು ಉಡುಪಿಲಿ ನೆಲೆ ನಿಂದು, ಹಡಗಿನಿಂದಲಿ ಬಂದು ಉಡುಪಿಲಿ ನೆಲೆ ನಿಂದು. ಬಿಡದೆ ಪೂಜೆಗೊಳ್ಳುವ ಒಡೆಯ ಶ್ರೀಕೃಷ್ಣ. ರಂಗ ಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ನಂದ ಗೋಪಿಯರ ಕಂದ ಮುಕುಂದ, ಸುಂದರಿಯರ ಆನಂದ ಗೋವಿಂದ. ರಂಗ ಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲ್ಲಿ ರಂಗವನದಲಿನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ರಂಗಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲಿನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ. ರಂಗಬಂದ ಬೃಂದಾವನದಲಿನಿಂದ ಕೊಳಲಿನ ಧ್ವನಿ ಬಲು ಚಂದ.
Now a composition of Sri Annamacharya in the raga Kuranji, Muddugare Yashoda.
ಮುದ್ದುಗಾರೆ ಯಶೋದ ಮುಂಗಿಟಿ ಮುತ್ಯಮು ಬಿಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದರಾಣಿ ಮಹಿಮಲ ದೇವಕಿ ಸುತುಡು. ಮುದ್ದುಗಾರೆ ಯಶೋದ ಮುಂಗಿಟಿ ಮುತ್ಯಮು ಬಿಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದರಾಣಿ ಮಹಿಮಲ ದೇವಕಿ ಸುತುಡು. ಮುದ್ದುಗಾರೆ ಯಶೋದ ಮುಂಗಿಟಿ ಮುತ್ಯಮು ಬಿಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದರಾಣಿ ಮಹಿಮಲ ದೇವಕಿ ಸುತುಡು. ಮುದ್ದುಗಾರೆ ಯಶೋದ ಅಂತ ನಿಂತ ಗೊಲ್ಲೆ ತಲ ಅರಚೇತಿ ಮಾಣಿಕ್ಯಮೋ ಪಂತ ಮಾಡೆ ಕಂಸುನಿ ಪಾಲಿ ವಜ್ರಮೋ. ಅಂತ ನಿಂತ ಗೊಲ್ಲೆ ತಲ ಅರಚೇತಿ ಮಾಣಿಕ್ಯಮೋ ಪಂತ ಮಾಡೆ ಕಂಸುನಿ ಪಾಲಿ ವಜ್ರಮೋ. కాంతుల మూడు లోకాల కాంతుల మూడు లోకాల గరుడ పచ్చ పూస. కాంతుల మూడు లోకాల కాంతుల మూడు లోకాల గరుడ పచ్చ పూస. చంతల మాలోలున్న చిన్ని కృష్ణుడు. 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 ముద్దుగారే యశోద ముంగిటి ముత్యము బిడుತ್ತಿದ್ದರಾಣಿ మహిమల దేవకీ సుతుడు. ముద్దుగారే యశోద కాళింగుని తలలపై కప్పిన పుష్యరాగము ఏలేటి శ్రీ వెంకటాద్రి ఇంద్రనీలము. కాళింగుని తలలపై కప్పిన పుష్యరాగము ఏలేటి శ్రీ వెంకటాద్రి ఇంద్రనీలము. పాలజల నిధిలో పాలజల నిధిలోన బాయని దివ్య రత్నము. పాలజల నిధిలోన బాయని దివ్య రత్నము. బాలుని వలె తిరిగి పద్మనాభుడు. బాలుని వలె తిరిగి పద్మనాభుడు. బాలుని వలె తిరిగి పద్మనాభుడు. బాలుని వలె పద్మనాభుడు. బాలుని వలె తిరిగి పద్మనాభుడు. ముద్దుగారే ಯಶೋದ ಮುಂಗಿಡಿ ಮುತ್ಯಮು ಬಿಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದರಾಣಿ ಮಹಿಮಲ ದೇವಕಿ ಸುತೋಡು ಮುದ್ದುಗಾರೆ ಯಶೋದ ಮುಂಗಿಡಿ ಮುತ್ಯಮು ಬಿಡುತ್ತಿದ್ದರಾಣಿ ಮಹಿಮಲ ದೇವಕಿ ಸುತೋಡು ತಿದ್ದರಾಣಿ ಮಹಿಮಲ ದೇವ ಸುತೋಡು ತಿದ್ದರಾಣಿ ಮಹಿಮಲ ದೇವಕಿ ಸುತೋಡು.
Now present a bhajan composed by Maharaja Swati Tirunal of the erstwhile Travancore Samasthanam. This is in the raga Hamsanandi and it is dedicated to Lord Shiva, who in the company of his Ganas, his wife, his family is dancing, and all the members of his family, his entourage, they are witnessing this great spectacle of Shankara dancing. Now present Shankara Shri Girinatha Prabhu, Raga Hamsanandi, Aditana.
na no re na re na re na na ra na na शंकर श्री गिरिनाथ प्रभु के 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 व्रत विराजित चित्र सभा में शंकर श्री गिरिनाथ प्रभु के व्रत विराजित चित्र सभा में शंकर श्री गिरिनाथ प्रभु के व्रत विराजित चित्र सभा में शंकर श्री गिरिनाथ प्रभु के व्रत विराजित चित्र सभा में शंकर श्री गिरिनाथ प्रभु प्रभु के भस्म त्रिनेत्र कले भस्म त्रिनेत्र कले भस्म त्रिनेत्र कले रुंडमाला भस्म त्रिनेत्र कले भस्म त्रिनेत्र कले रुंडमाला भस्म त्रिनेत्र कले रुंडमाला पूतन के संग नाचत भृंगी भस्म त्रिनेत्र कले रुंडमाला पूतन के संग नाचत भृंगी शंकर श्री गिरिनाथ प्रभु के व्रत विराजित चित्र सभा में शंकर श्री गिरिनाथ प्रभु प्रभु के तानत ताकीट तका आया तानत ताकीट तका तानत ताकीट तका आया तानत ताकीट तका तानत ताकीट तका श्रुति गति राजे 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 तानत ताकीट तका तानत ताकीट तका श्रुति गति राजे पदुमनाभा मन कमल विराजे तान तथि श्रुति गति पदुमनाभ मन कमल विराजे शंकर श्री नाथ प्रभु के व्रत विराजित चित्र सभा में शंकर श्री गिरिनाथ प्रभु के शंकरा 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 प्रभु शंकरा गिरिनाथ प्रभु के प्रभु के शंकरा 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 धीं तधुनि कुतक धीं तद्रकिट त्वं नाचेरगे कोरिता हितै तै हितै तिरकिट धीं तधुनि कुतक धीं तद्रकिट त्वं नाचेरगे कोरिता हितै तै हितै तिरकिट धीं तधुनि कुतक धीं बाज पायल कहो जनन पायल कहो बाज पायल कहो जनन 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 धिं धिं जनन 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 धिं धिं जनन 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 धिं तरुणि कुदक धीं बाज पायल कहो जनन 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 धिं जनन 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 धिं तरुणि कुदक तानकावेत कततै ततै तानकावेत कततै ततै तै ततै ततकलन ह्रीं तकतक धीं ह्रीं तकतक धीं ह्रीं तकतक धीं हरदों हरदों हरधीं तदुनि कुदक धीं तै ततै ततकलन ह्रीं तकतक धीं ह्रीं तकतक धीं ह्रीं तकतक धीं हरदों हरदों हरधीं तदुनि कुदक पदुमनाभ तुम्हारी लीला पदुमनाभ तुम्हारी लीला क्या कहूँ मैं सावरो पदुमनाभ तुम्हारी लीला सावरो ताप संकट हरण आयो मारो तुम्हारो ताप संकट हरण आयो भोग मारो तुम्हारो तथिं तथिं तिरन उदनि तदानि दानि तथिं तथिं तिरन तथिं तथिं तिरन उदनि तदानि दानि तथिं तथिं तिरन तादित्व तगन गणि तदानि तगदानति पलरि करर कथकतां रार कथगमं तानि कथकतां तारनि मलनि तों तों तां तगदन मलनि तों 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 तगदन मलनि धीं तदुनि कुदक धीं तथिं तिरन तथिं तथिं तिरन तगन गणि तदानि
In Kannada, the one phrase that will come is Tumba chanagide. Thank you so much, Vinay Sharva garu, BK Raghu garu, Anur Vinod Sham garu, and Narayan Murthy garu for this enthralling performance. Thank you so much. On behalf of Pyramid Music Meditation Academy, it's a deep honor to have you on this stage. And with so much ease. That's how life is, right? With ease. As natural as breath is. That's how you should be. That's how Patri sir teaches us. As how life can be celebration with least effort. So let us felicitate our artists. For that, I would like to invite Sagar sir to please come and felicitate our artists. Music, please. sir. We are in the Pyramid Valley International, the second largest pyramid of Pyramid Spiritual Societies movement. To make a program like Pyramid Music Meditation Fest to happen, it takes a lot of group consciousness, teamwork, and intent, a very powerful intent. So, to share a little bit about that, I would request Sagar ji, who is the managing trustee of Pyramid Valley International, to speak a few words.
Good afternoon, friends. So, how was the experience? Yes, the experience of coming back to live concerts, experiencing meditation inside the Mega Pyramid is back now. For the last 1.5 years, we've all been behind Zoom, looking at sessions in YouTube. But this is the experience, this is the real experience that we've all been waiting for. And going forward, I think we will have many more such events, many more such functions here. And if you know, PSSM has lined up a whole host of events over the next few months. So we have the Mahayog Dhyan Kumbh coming up in Rishikesh, middle of this month. And end of this month, we have Patri Sir's Live Like a Buddha workshop. And again, next year, as you know, we have Dhyana Mahachakram in Hyderabad, and a lot more events. But the key thing is coming back and coming into the physicality of the performance. In fact, today when I searched performance and all the sessions, this morning's session was wonderful, yesterday's sessions were excellent. Being present here in this mega pyramid, listening to masters, getting the sound waves impact our body and mind is an experience in itself. I would say this is like almost like Nada Dhyana. We are just meditating with the pyramid energy as well as the energy of the sound. So this experience is really priceless. I'm sure, in fact, I would call out to all the online viewers to come down here, enjoy the experience here for the rest of the day today and as well as tomorrow. We have the final day. And by the way, tomorrow we have a grand finale with Pancharatna Kirtanas. Tomorrow afternoon it's going to be a grand joint session. We have 30 to 40 artists coming here and singing, so you can also join them in that grand finale tomorrow afternoon. So while this experience is priceless, just like they say, the MasterCard ad, the experience is priceless, but for everything else there is MasterCard. So there's a lot of things that have gone into making this experience possible for each one of us, right? The musicians coming here, the wonderful audio video system, thanks to our experts, the wonderful lighting system, again, thanks to our experts, the wonderful camera people beaming this program into YouTube. And of course, all of you coming here has been priceless as well. So all this takes money, takes effort, takes time from the hundreds of volunteers and hundreds of people who have contributed to this event so far. As you know, we have this event, admission is free. We have free food thanks to our Nityanadana program of Pyramid Valley. You just pay for accommodation. People who are staying here, that's our regular discounted accommodation that we provide for all workshops. There's nothing more you pay. So our humble request is, as you enjoy this experience, please also participate in contributing to the building up of this event. We do have a lot of people who've donated so far online. We have the donation button. Thanks to all of them. Thanks to some of our sponsors. But nevertheless, there is still more opportunity for all of you to contribute to this event. Please, we have our donation counters just outside this, near the gate. There is a donation counter in Annadana dining hall. There is a donation counter in Starlight. So please open your wallets, flash your e-wallets, whip out your cards, be generous in contributing to Pyramid Music Meditation Academy. So this will help us conduct many more such events in the future. We'd love to have all budding musicians on the platform here in this wonderful mega pyramid. It's an experience for the musicians, it's an experience for all of us. And as always, we also expect volunteer services. So all the events that we conduct in Pyramid Valley as well as in other places, we always look out for volunteers. And volunteering in itself is a learning experience for each one of us. So I've been a volunteer here for all these days. I voluntarily do my role as a managing trustee. And now Patri sir has also given me this role of treasurer and coordinator for the Pyramid Music Meditation Academy. So it's a fantastic experience. So experience being here, experience being a contributor of money, contributor of time, contributor of effort by volunteering. So request all your help, just an appeal to you and all the viewers seeing online and all your friends who are enjoying this experience. Number one, please do be here and be part of this experience. Number two, contribute in whatever way is possible for you. There are online donations as well and in-person donations are possible here. With that, we'll continue on to the next section of the programs. Yes, I'll hand over to our wonderful anchor, Amolya. Okay. So we'll want to just thank a few of our donor sponsors whom we know of so far, and of course, all the many more donors online as well. Thanks to all the donors. Just a few of the names who contributed more than 50,000 you see there, but we are also thankful for all the donors who contributed out here in Anadana, who've been contributing here as well as online. Thank you, and we'd love to have more of it as well. Thank you.
Like we all have known that vitamin M is a very important energy that we need to enable any program, any initiative to happen. So please come forward and contribute, because when you share energy, that will be shared to more people. And that's how it will grow. It's like a ripple effect. So please go downstairs and please contribute. Now, taking the event further, I would like to invite Chandra Pulamare Setti Garu to take it forward. He's the founder of Buddha CEO Foundation, to please take it forward.
Thank you, Amolya. Friends, this Pyramid Valley in its glory is like this because with Patrisa's vision that is completely matched with a vice chairman and visionary, Sri Shreyans Daga. Any amount of talk is not sufficient for the contributions that is made to PSS movement and to Pyramid Valley. So we have his wonderful spiritual talk today. Valley, if you are seeing, and we must have explored by now in 3 days, many elements here. Whether it's the nature, whether it's the pyramid in itself, the designs of the pyramids, everything that you see is made absolutely possible because of his artistic views, his grand vision for spiritual elements and his long-term views of how a place like this can be set up for absolutely national and international audience. So that is, Sri Shreyans Daga is a very successful business leader. I'm asked to introduce him. Please, Shreyans, come over to the stage. A successful entrepreneur, his spiritual journey unintentionally started at a very young age of 19 years when he overcame a major illness through this simple meditation that Patriji personally taught him. Please come up. Patriji personally taught him when he was 19, and then since then he never looked back in integrating spirituality, meditation into his life, while he literally grew his business single-handedly for his family business from a very distressful mode to a very, very grand, successful business through the practice of meditation. Shreyans attributes a lot of his success to his meditation practices. So through his workshops now, through Shreyans Daga Foundation, through Pyramid Valley, through PSM Global, through many platforms, Shreyans is on a mission to empower and transform as many lives as possible with his knowledge, learning, and experience. Many of you, I'm sure, have experienced it, and then those who are on the online and otherwise, many musical background people are here. Shreyans is integrating a lot of science. The more we know the science behind why we are doing, the more we feel that now we can integrate into our life. So he's integrating a lot of science in the form of quantum physics, neuroscience, epigenetics, whatnot, everything available. He's a very, very business, very successful, very, very busy person. But just last month, in October, he spent nearly 25 days on just on a self-quest. He went around the world, attending workshops, attending, some kind of MBA equivalent of programs, just to enrich himself, enhance himself. Successful people all the time are people who want to be really good at what they're doing, are taking time. We learned from Patri sir that we got to take time. All of you congratulate yourself for taking 4 days of your time to be here, right? So Shreyans is like that. He spent 25 days. I was super surprised that he's going from master to master and then attending workshops in US and worldwide, and then come back here fresh. We have a lot to learn from him. And Shreyans is a very successful business leader, having led its family group of businesses called Brithil Oil Group of Businesses, and including Synovi Technologies, an IT company that I had the opportunity to partner and work with him to be successful in that too. And so Shreyans, thank you. And his talk is, if I read it right, democratizing music. What's the title again? How quantum physics democratized music. So I'm very curious because there is so much seems like in this.
I read this topic while coming on the way.
Okay. All right. Oh, you read the topic. Somebody gave the topic. All right. Okay. So it's an honor to listen to this great master. So thank you, Shreyans. Yes.
Thank you, Chandra. Thank you so much. So my pranams to Brahmashri Patriji, and thanks to all of you. It's really my honor, privilege to be with all of you today, especially after COVID, after 2 years. It's so amazing to feel the physical presence of everyone. Though energetically we've all been together through various Zoom sessions and online meditation sessions, but so good to be with all of you together, and especially inside this pyramid, in Pyramid Valley, with such amazing energy. So thank you all friends. Thank you, Sagar, Chandra, everyone, for giving me this opportunity and privilege to talk for next 45 minutes. So friends, my journey, as Chandra shared, started at the age of 19. When I was going through, my father had passed away, then I was detected with chest TB, and then at that time I had a complete nervous breakdown, and I was wondering how do I take my life forward, how do I navigate my life forward. And that was the time I really sought help, that I need some guidance, I need some help. And next day, Patriji happened to be in Bombay, and luckily he stayed with me. and he saw me taking medicines for the TB, and then he told me that your TB is like a fire alarm. By taking medicine, you're shutting your fire alarm. But the real fire is your grief, your anxiety that you're going through because of your father's death. So unless you heal that, the medicine is not going to really help you in the long run. But then I told him, sir, I don't know how do I heal myself? He said, that's why I'm here today. And that was my first introduction to meditation. And first time when I meditated with him for 40 minutes, I was alone with him and he was playing beautiful music. So that was my first introduction of meditation along with music. And I was wondering why music. And but when he was playing music, with the flow of music, I was feeling the flow of current flowing into my body. I had a chest TB. I could feel a strong energy flowing into my chest. And as if with every flute, with every note of his flute, the energy was moving inside my body. And after 40 minutes, when I opened my eyes, I felt so relaxed and absolutely peaceful. There was no anxiety, there was no fear. And that feeling I had lost, I've forgotten since my father's death. And that was the time when he told me that if you meditate for 40 days every day, and you can always use some music and combine music with meditation, you can heal yourself completely. You can heal not only physically, but you'll heal your root cause, which is emotional. And when you heal yourself emotionally, physical healing will be the byproduct. And doesn't matter whether it is TB or it could be any other hidden diseases, you'll heal everything. And I trusted him because that feeling was so powerful during that meditation. After the meditation, I said, let me give it a try. And I started meditating every day along with music. He gave me a CD of his flute, and I was playing his flute and listening and hearing and doing the meditation. And I got so hooked on that I was meditating for almost 6 hours during a day in intervals. And after 30 days, I was due for my chest X-ray, and I got my X-ray done. The doctor was shocked. He was completely shocked that there was no mark of any TB. And that was the time first time I realized that simple technique of meditation and combining with music has the power to heal ourselves. And he just taught me meditation and he left. But meditation by itself was such a powerful tool that there's no dependency on anybody. And that's what Patri sir teaches us. We don't have to depend on anybody. Our breath is our guru. We are gods. We have the power to heal ourselves, to create whatever we want in our life. And that was my beginning of introduction to meditation and music. And since then, I did a lot of research on how meditation really helps, how music really helps, how I was seeing so many changes in my life. Not only did I heal myself, I was emotionally very happy, very joyful. And I was wondering how did it really happen. And that got me into the research on quantum physics, quantum science, neuroscience, brain waves, chakras, epigenetics, how meditation helps us at in different levels, different dimensions. And I got all my answers through that. And today's topic, I was told to share some experiments on music and how music has an impact on healing, on our physical body, on manifestations. So I'm going to share a few experiments with you, and I'm going to share maybe 4 or 5 experiments with you chronologically. So I hope it makes sense to you. But more than anything, I mean, we don't need the proof of these experiments to know that you all have been meditators, you all have been listening to music, combining music with meditation. And we all know how the music is so powerful, right? Music can make us play, music can make us dance. Music, even if your saddest moment, if you hear to your music of your college days or of your childhood days, you can start dancing, you can start moving, and it can take you out of any deep emotional trauma or emotional state, and it can heal you. And music has a power to make us laugh, make us cry. Music is so powerful because music transcends our analytical mind. It transcends our logical mind. Logic does not produce magic. And that's why music produces magic because it moves beyond analytical mind. If there's one thing which combines 7.9 million people on this planet is music. No matter what culture, what tradition, what religion you belong to, everyone has one common thing is music. And the history of music is before humanity is born, before they say that the planets, the earth, the moon, the stars, everything came from music, everything came from sound. So music is so old. So the history of music is more than what we can even think of. So and that is one thing which combines all of us. If I talk to you in a language which is not known to you, like say Kannada is not known to me, but if you talk to me in Kannada, I may not understand anything. But if you play some good, nice Kannada music, it can move me. I can feel the energy and the vibration of the music. So that is the power of music. And because it communicates directly with your heart. It communicates directly with at a cellular level. And it can heal you, it can transform you, it can move you without using our analytical mind, without using our logical mind. So today I'm going to share with you a few experiments. Yeah, can you share the first slide? So this is what Nikola Tesla said. If you wish to find the secrets of the universe, think of it in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. So we all know in the music, every music has a frequency, it has a vibration. And now so much research has been done on music. Scientifically, we have all the evidence. And all these things were known to our ancients, this is a very ancient science. And that's why we have Indian classical music, which is so enriching. They know at what hertz, what frequency can evoke what kind of emotion in that person. And we all knew, and our ancients knew all this since many years back, many thousands of years back. It is just that the modern science in last 100 years is able to show it in a scientific way. Yeah, next slide. So friends, I'm going to show a research by Dr. Masaru Emoto. He's a Japanese scientist who did a lot of research on words, sound, music, how it has an impact on water. And why this research is so important? Because 70% of our body is water. More than 70% of our earth is water. And yeah, can you share the next slide? So this is what he did. What he did was he froze the water and put it under a microscope. And before freezing the water, the same water, he exposed it to different words or different sounds or different music. And when he saw it under the microscope, the water had a different formation, different molecular structure of the water. The same water changed into different molecular structure. So when he exposed the water to the word thank you, it made a beautiful crystalline structure. When he showed it wisdom, truth, eternal, angel, I love you, all showed a beautiful crystalline structures, peace. And when he exposed it to the word you fool, you fool, you fool, you can see how distorted the energy of the water is. Then he exposed it to the word you make me sick, you make me sick. And the water became so distorted. You can see it is looking like really ugly and evil. Then he used two waters, the same water, polluted water before prayer. It was the original water was like this. Then he offered prayer to the water as in a group, and the water changes molecular structure and it became a crystalline structure. Right? So it's amazing how the power of music or sound or words has such a big impact on our lives. No, next. 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 Yeah, next. Next. Sorry, I think they showed some wrong slides, so yeah. So, yeah, you can go next. Yeah. Yeah. So this was a very important research because it shows that how our thoughts, how our emotions can be influenced by music. Music, why does music makes us feel happy, makes us feel joyful, or makes us feel sad? You can put on a sad music and you can start crying because music directly has an impact on our emotions. It can change the expression of our DNA. It can influence our thoughts. It can influence our emotions. And how we feel is how we think. We always think equal to our emotional state. If you're in a good emotional state, you'll have that positive thoughts. And the beauty of music is it can put into the right vibration, right emotional state directly. And then you will sponsor the thoughts, then you'll have thoughts corresponding to those emotions. All of a sudden you are positive, you are thinking positive, you are making the right choices. And how you think and how you feel is what you draw into your life. If music is a powerful tool to transform your thoughts and emotions, and when you can transform your thoughts and emotions, that is what you draw into your life. When things change inside you, things change around you. Right? Our feelings are equal to prayer. Whatever is your feeling is, that's what we are praying for. Feeling a state produces that state. And music is a powerful tool to transform our emotions, to transform our feelings. And that's how we create a new world into our life. We create magic into our life. We create heaven on this planet with the help of music. Right? So the beauty of music is music. Most of the time we are obsessed with our current environment, with the current challenging situations, with current problems. And so much of focus goes on all those things that wherever our attention goes, our energy flows. And we are living in a constant state of resistance. But the beauty of music is the moment you put on your favorite music, or hear to some nice classical music, or rock music, or hip hop music, or some dance music, whatever, you immediately feel elevated. You feel like dancing. You feel like maybe going within into meditation, whatever. And that really helps you to drop resistance. At that moment of time, you are completely in that present moment. You are defocused from your problems in life, from your challenges in life. And at that moment, you're in a state of joy. But the beauty is what happens is when you're in a state of joy and happiness, it drops the resistance towards everything in your life around you. And after the song, after the dance, after the music, even we don't even realize the same problem, the same challenges, we will deal with it with much more grace, with much more effortless ease. You transform you into the state of acceptance and allowance, right? So that's why music is so important, and I think we are blessed that that now the music is so easily available to each of us, right? Earlier in a time we used to have to buy a tape or a CD to play the music, but luckily now music is just one click away. So I think we are in a time which we are so blessed to have the best of the music of the world, which is just one click away. So let me share with you a few more experiments. Next video.
Motto's laboratory does
Go
research on
ahead.
which are subjected to
I will
various forms of
shared
outside
about
influence.
this.
The impressions made upon the water are... Somebody said, thank you to this water.
Okay, or increase the volume, yeah. Okay.
Excuse me.
It's the same experiment by Dr. Masaru Emoto.
You disgust me. Let us see how this type of water affects human blood. The doctor is drawing blood from a patient's finger. Using a special microscope, we shall be able to see the condition of her body from this drop.
These are red blood cells, and they've lost their electrical charge, so they're all stuck together in a formation called a rouleau. Here's a huge symplast. Symplasts are associated with heart disease. and arthritis and lung disease and many other conditions that could be coming in the future.
The doctor asks the patient to drink a small amount of structurized water. After 12 minutes, the doctor again draws blood from the patient and studies it.
So you can see that the cells then become buoyant, they become slippery, and they have their electrical charge, so they repel each other. That allows them to carry oxygen, and it means that we're changing the pH of the blood back to an aerobic environment rather than an anaerobic environment. I think that's utterly amazing that just drinking water could do that.
In 1995, Dr. Emoto Masaru was the first one to record musical impressions on water. In Dr. Emoto Masaru's laboratory, they allowed water to listen to music, after which they flash froze the water. And then, under the microscope, they could clearly see the crystals that the water had formed. Here is what the music of Bach looks like. Mozart, Beethoven, heavy rock, Dr. Emoto has conducted another interesting experiment. He placed rice into 3 glass beakers and covered it with water. And then every day for a month, he said, "Thank you" to one beaker, "You're an idiot" to the second, and the third one he completely ignored. After 1 month, the rice that had been thanked began to ferment, giving off a strong, pleasant aroma. The rice in the second beaker turned black. And the rice that was ignored began to rot. Dr. Emoto thinks that this experiment provides an important lesson, especially with regard to how we treat children. We should take care of them, give them attention, and converse with them. Indifference does the greatest harm. Dr. Emoto's laboratory does research on water samples which are subjected to
Thank you. Wasn't that interesting? Yeah. So now I'll share you another experiment. It's in 1800, there was a German scientist called Schladian, and he did a lot of research. He discovered, he's called the father of acoustics, and he discovered something called Schladian plates. And these plates, when you expose it to certain music, and if you put sand on the plates, it forms different music at different hertz, different frequencies. It formed different patterns on the plate. And why this is so significant? Because this is how the universe was created. This is how the music has an impact on our body, on our DNA, on our cells, on our emotions. And so I'll share this experiment, and then we can go to the next experiment. Yeah, you can play this. This is the Schladian plate. So now it is exposed to the sound of 100 hertz. They are putting sand on it. There's no sound? They've experimented music with water. At certain frequency, the flow of the water changed. At 23 hertz, you feel like as if the water is going up. They did experiments with fire on the music, with the music. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for the gift of your attention. I'm going to show 2 more videos. Hope you are enjoying it.
If you want to find the secrets of the universe,
Thank you. Thank
think it.
I thought let me add some rock music. It's been probably very serious since last 2 days. Okay, so I'll share one more video which is on how from ancient history, how sound, music has played such an important role in our culture, in our civilizations. So, yeah.
If you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Nikola Tesla. Although modern scientists are just now beginning to understand this quote from Tesla, ancient civilizations around the world had known of the power of sound, frequency, and vibration for thousands of years. In the essence of all religions and spiritual teachings, we can find how the ancients used the power of the words. This power has been utilized in the forms of prayers for Christians and Muslims, mantras for Hindus and Buddhists, and chants for the shamanic traditions. All of this shows us how words and vibrations have an immense power, which the ancients often utilized for many purposes. In this video, we'll examine not only the ancient practices, but also the scientific findings of the power of vibrations, how scientists are currently using vibrations and frequencies to alter and reprogram the DNA of living beings, and how the Tibetans used sound for levitating and transporting heavy stones. Of course, we'll also tell you how to use this wisdom for self-improvement so that you can live a happy, healthy, and fulfilling life. Let me share with you an interesting phenomenon you've probably heard of or experienced before. This phenomenon precisely demonstrates how powerful sound and vibrations are. When I was a kid, I remember that moving my fingers around the wine glass was strangely making a very high-pitched sound, and I was really surprised by it. But what happened as I kept making that sound was that the glass suddenly broke, and that made me even more curious. What I believed to be magic back then, now I understand through science. This unusual phenomenon is called resonant frequency. Every molecule and atom in this universe is vibrating at a particular frequency. Resonance frequency would be considered the specific frequency of that specific object or atom. Once you know the resonance frequency or specific frequency of an object or an atom, you can amplify its waves, making it so big that eventually it will break or destroy the object. That's what happens when we stimulate the wine glass with the frequency that matches its resonance frequency. Using the same principle, in 1938, a scientist named Dr. Royal Raymond Rife cured 16 terminally ill cancer patients. We have an exclusive video for the story and the discoveries of Dr. Royal Rife, which you can watch by clicking the link in the comments below. Long story short, Dr. Royal Rife designed a healing device using only electromagnetic frequencies to target and destroy any disease. This discovery should have completely changed the medical industry, but for unknown reasons, this information has been suppressed by the mainstream media and by Big Pharma. Although a massive campaign of suppression was conducted, many other scientists confirmed Rife's discovery by testing his frequency healing device. The result was the elimination of 60% of cancer cells from patients only through the power of resonant frequencies. Although the FDA made sure everything from this healing technology was destroyed, recently a professor of music by the name of Anthony Holland, who is also a composer, was always interested in the physical effects of sound, so he decided to assemble a lab to examine the effects of audio frequencies on microbiology. Dr. Holland created a non-profit organization for this purpose and began his experiments with harmless microorganisms like paramecium. What he discovered was that just like the wine glass, a particular combination of two related frequencies would completely shatter the targeted cells. After this experiment, he went out to find out the frequencies that could break cancer cells. After a year of research, just like Royal Rife, he found out the frequencies to combat pancreatic cancer and leukemia cells. In various experiments, he successfully destroyed 60% of the cells, just like Royal Rife did. This is nothing new. Cases of using sound to achieve healing and supernatural results can be found in almost all ancient civilizations. Even today, shamans use different instruments and rituals for different healing purposes. In a shamanic healer's toolkit, the most used and essential healing agent is the Icaros, a sacred song sung by the doctor to the patient to stimulate the natural well-being and health of the patient. This song is also used in spiritual practices with ayahuasca. Now that you understand the concept of resonance frequency, this will enlighten your understanding of the power of mantras, specific instruments, and sound-based rituals performed by ancient civilizations. They are not some voodoo tricks. They are pure science used by the ancients. Besides the applications of this knowledge for healing, there is also evidence of how the ancients used sound, vibrations, and frequencies to carve and levitate heavy stones and objects and use them to build megalithic structures. It's believed the Egyptians had a device that could be tuned to a specific frequency, and with it, they were able to cut massive stones just as if they were cutting butter. If you don't believe such technology could exist, just look at the Al-Nasla rock formation located in Taima Oasis, Saudi Arabia, or the Puma Punku complex with dozens of stones all cut with laser-like precision. In 1939, a Swedish doctor called Dr. Jarl was brought to a Tibetan monastery to treat a High Lama. He stayed a long time at the monastery and became a close friend of the Tibetans. One day, the monks took him to a cliff where they were constructing a rock wall. As soon as they found a big stone that needed to be moved, 19 musical instruments were set in an arc, precisely 63 meters from the stone. There were 13 drums of different sizes and 6 trumpets, each of which was 3 meters in length. The monks started to play the instruments, and they all chanted a specific mantra. After 4 minutes, miraculously, the stone began to sway, and suddenly it took off in the direction of the cliff, and after 3 minutes of ascent, it landed on the top of the cliff. Dr. Jarl claimed that the monks were able to move 5 to 6 stones per hour using this method. He made 2 videos clearly recording this incident, but they were both confiscated by his employers as soon as he came back. In 2015, a device built by a team from Spain successfully levitated and manipulated small objects with just sound. And here's an interesting old video of an acoustic levitation device by Dr. David Deek. One other recent discovery made by scientists was how sound, frequencies, and vibrations have the power to program or reprogram our DNA. In 2011, the Russian biophysicist Peter Gurdjieff conducted several experiments modifying DNA using only sound and light frequencies. The experiment was outstanding. He and his team successfully transformed frog embryos to salamander embryos simply by transmitting the DNA information patterns through frequency alone. If you want to find the...
Isn't this amazing? So they say now the way the research is going and the way the science is merging now with spirituality, they're saying the future of medicine will be all frequency, energy and vibration. We'll not need to take any medicine. You hear a different sound, you'll be monitored, you'll be administered different sound at different frequency, different current, different light patterns at different hertz and frequency, and it will help you to heal. Because it will heal you at the emotional level, at the cellular level, and that's why physical healing will follow. So interesting times now. So what music helps us is not just healing ourselves physically, but also healing our whole life. how we can transform with the help of music. We can transform our emotions, we can transform our DNA expression, and through that, we can transform the world around us. As we all know that we create our own reality, and the physical world is a reflection of our own self. It's a mirror. What's within us is being mirrored in the outside reality. So now when we change things inside us, when we change with the help of music, if we change our thoughts, our emotions, and our DNA structure, our DNA expression, our whole world around will respond differently. So again, I'm going to demonstrate this by two experiments, two very powerful experiments, which will show you how when things change inside you, things change around you. We all have been hearing about that, how thoughts, think positive, feel positive, and that's how you can change the world around you. But now there's a scientific evidence which shows that how our thoughts and feelings, when you transform that, can actually impact the world around us. Because we are all interconnected. There is no separation. We are all interconnected, and when things change inside us, things change around us. So this is a 30-minute talk by Greg Braden. Greg Braden is a scientist. He's a geologist, scientist. He worked in NASA, and he's a great spiritual teacher. I was in the US this last month. I attended his workshop for 3 days. So this very interesting video which demonstrates how when we change our emotions and when we change our thoughts and emotions, how it can impact our life around us. Yeah, you can play the video.
My name's Greg Braden, and I'd like to welcome you to this very special presentation of Missing Links, the deep truth of our origin, history, destiny, and fate. In our last episode, we identified the science-based discovery of a field of energy, a real-life matrix that functions in 3 very precise ways. This matrix, number 1, it's the container for the universe itself and for all things that can happen in the universe. Number 2, it's the bridge between our inner and our outer worlds. Everything that happens from within, our thoughts, feelings, emotions, and beliefs are conveyed to the world beyond our bodies through this field. And number 3, the mirror. The mirror. This field is a mirror in the world for what we claim to be true in our deepest, sometimes subconscious beliefs. Well, scientists are no longer asking the question, are we connected? The field tells us that we are. Now, the question is, how deeply are we connected? How much influence do we really have in the world through this field? Well, there are 2 very futuristic scientific experiments that take us light years beyond anything that we've believed and science has accepted in the past. I want to share those with you. What they are showing, however, is open the door to a possibility that modern science is now struggling with. So let's take a look at these 2 experiments. The first one was published in the Russian Bulletin of the Lebedev Physics Institute, 1992. And the experiment begins with something seemingly very innocent, a glass vessel, a vase, where all of the air has been completely drawn out of this vessel to create what we call a vacuum. So a vacuum implies that this vessel is empty. But we know it's not completely empty because there are still little photons of light that remain in this vessel. Scientists know this. So the question now is, where are those photons? They want to get a baseline and see where the photons are right now. So the first part of this experiment, they draw the air out of the vessel, and then they measure where these photons are in the vessel. Are they all piled up on the bottom? Are they floating around the inside? Are they all stuck to the edges? And what they found was no surprise. The vessel showed that these photons are completely random. They're completely random. By the way, these are the same kinds of photons, the particles of matter that make up the atom itself, that we described in the last episode. So we're dealing with these fundamental particles of the stuff that our world is made of, and that's important. So the scientists found that the distribution of the photons in this vessel was completely random. No surprise, that's what they expected. The next piece of this experiment is where, while the experiment is fascinating, what I find really fascinating is the thinking of the scientists that made the experiment possible. For a scientist trained in the scientific method, based upon all of those false assumptions that we saw earlier in this program, those assumptions of separation, for the scientists to move out of that box of thinking and begin asking new questions like, what if our assumptions are wrong? What would that tell us about our world? That's where it gets really interesting, and that's what the next part of this experiment is all about. Because what the scientists did was, into the vessel that had completely random photons, they put human DNA. Human DNA, because they wanted to see if human DNA has an effect on the photons. And before I go any further, I just want to invite you to think about what they're asking. Photons are the stuff this world is made of. DNA is the stuff we're made of. And they're asking, scientists are asking in the laboratory, does the stuff we're made of have an effect on the stuff our world is made of? This is where it starts to sound like science fiction, or at least something that an advanced yogi would be working with. But these are in a bona fide scientific laboratory, these questions, this is where they're being asked. So here's what they did. They took human DNA and they placed it inside the vessel. And then they measured the DNA again to see what would happen. And they measured the photons again to see what would happen. And the results of this experiment changed the way we have been conditioned to think about ourselves and the world. Because the photons went from being completely random when they were first measured, and in the presence of the human DNA, the photons are no longer random, they are ordered. They followed precisely the geometry of the DNA. The DNA was having a direct effect on the photons. The stuff we're made of is having a direct effect on the stuff our world is made of. Just like some of our most ancient and cherished indigenous and spiritual traditions have always told us that we are connected to the world. So this is the first experiment. Human DNA has a measurable effect on the stuff our world is made of. And I want you to see the way the scientists responded to this. So I'm going to read this to you directly. In the journal Nanobiology, it was published in 1995, the way the scientists described this, they said that the photons were described as behaving, and this is a quote, surprisingly and counterintuitively. presence of the positive emotion, the DNA is relaxed. In the presence of negative emotions such as anger, hate, jealousy, rage, the DNA was tightened like a little knot. It coiled up very, very tightly. And this is telling the scientists something that we've never seen demonstrated under laboratory conditions before. Anecdotally, it may have been suspected, but this is the first time in a laboratory environment that we could actually see human emotion intentionally created by those trained to create very specific kinds and very specific qualities of emotion. The human emotion changed the shape of the DNA. It changed the ability of the DNA to fully express the full complement of what it is, whatever that DNA is expressing. So I'm going to share with you now directly. I want you to hear from the scientists. Quote, individuals trained in feelings of deep love and appreciation were able to intentionally change the shape of the DNA in their bodies. And they went on to say that human emotion produces effects which defy conventional laws of physics.
Thank you. I hope it was not too heavy, but I'll just summarize. So we saw how music has an impact on our thoughts, our emotions, especially our emotions, transcending our thoughts. It directly has an impact on emotions. And then through emotions, our thoughts. So we saw, and also has an impact on our DNA. And in the second experiment, we saw that when a DNA is exposed with positive emotions, how it expresses itself and in fact reproduces a new healing DNA, right? So, and when it is exposed to a negative emotion, it is not able to express itself fully, and in fact it compresses itself. So positive emotions really give full expression on our DNA. They say 70% of our DNA is junk, but I don't believe it. I believe with our thoughts, our emotions, we can give full expression to our DNA. Right? So that was the second experiment. And the first experiment, we showed that when the whole world is made of atoms, right? Which is called the field. As Einstein said, the field is the sole governing agency of matter, right? How you think, our thoughts are electric and our feelings are magnetic. Thoughts carries an electric charge and the feelings carry a magnetic charge. And how you think and feel, you broadcast an electromagnetic signature into the quantum field, and that's how you draw that event into your life. That's how you attract that event into your life. So the first experiment showed us that a human DNA in a presence of positive emotions expresses itself fully. That was the second experiment. And the first experiment shows that when the way the human DNA expresses itself, the same way the atoms, the photons in the container change according to the human DNA. So that means the DNA represents ourselves, our individual identity, and those photons represents the world around us. So when things change inside us, things change around us, and that is no more a thing of just saying. Now it is scientifically proven that. And we all experience that in our day-to-day life, right? That's why we all know that we create our own reality. Our vast world is nothing but a consciousness objectified, right? How we experience life internally, the life will express the same way externally. That's why I said, as within, so without. As above, so below. So I'm going to end my presentation with last few words. Like we see that how the external music has an impact on us, I also believe that we all are born with the music inside of us. We are all, it took 60 trillion sperm. Out of 60 trillion sperm, only one sperm made it. And that is you and me. So we are a unique expression of the divine. We are born for a reason, not for a season. Each of us has a unique signature. There's only one in this world with your fingerprints. So don't die with the music still left in you. Each of us are born for a reason, born for a purpose. And each of us has a mandate to discover our purpose. So make it, to discover your purpose. What are you born for? What is your unique expression? Pablo Picasso said, the gift of our life, our reason for our life is to find our gift. And the purpose of our life, is to give it away. So we have a reason to find a purpose and share it with others. We have a mandate to discover the song of a soul to share with everyone. So don't die with the music still left in you. All of us are born with some specific purpose, with some heroic mission. It may be anything. It may be a good cook. It may be to open a restaurant, maybe a spiritual center, maybe teach meditation, or maybe dance, whatever it may be. All of us have it, but we all are of us scared to march towards it. So recognize your purpose, and the beauty is when you find your purpose will protect you. When you protect your purpose will protect you. So don't die with the music still left in you. Thank you.
Sir, we're not going to let you go. So please, because that one line, don't die with the music inside of you, left inside of you. And we take it one step further by saying, don't die without expressing the music inside of you. So if it is music, dance, whatever is that calling of yours, don't limit yourself with age. That, it's not, I should have done it when I was young. It's not my time yet. I think I don't think I can do it anymore. Don't stop. You're not here just to listen. You're also here to express. So after you leave this fest, whatever's your inner calling, be it music, maybe that veena you left long ago, playing the veena at a very young age, you would say, but can you start it again? There's an inner trigger. That's why we meet, right? We trigger each other and learn something new. So don't say no. Express yourself. That's what Pyramid Spiritual Society's movement does. There's no restriction here. We express ourselves fearlessly. So don't die without expressing the music inside of you. Thank you so much, Shreyan sir, for being a thorough researcher and a spiritual scientist at that. Because I was really, the presentation, the videos, there's so much that we are listening, right? It makes so much sense for all of us. Everyone is agreeing, everyone's nodding their head. Thank you so much, sir. And I would invite Chandra sir and Paripatri to please felicitate Shreyan sir. Parinita Patri and Paripatri are the committee members of Pyramid Music Meditation Academy. Shreyan sir is the Chief Advisor of Pyramid Music Meditation Academy. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now, dear friends, let us take a quick lunch break so that we are able to energize ourselves with physical food. We've already received energetic food. We will come back by 2:55 so that we are again ready to meet new masters. At 3 o'clock, we will meet Dr. Surya Prakash ji, who is a music and an art critic, and Kalai Mamani Parur, M.A. Krishna Swami Garu. We will be felicitating them. So thank you so much.